did yesterday to you? All right. This is one of the most common things that I see with a lot of players, even some good players, that don't do this consistently or don't really understand the concept or really hasn't ever been explained to them what this is and what this represents. And I call this the impact zone. Remember, softball and baseball are different. Baseball, balls coming 90, 95 miles an hour. All I got to do is get this bat here and meet it 3 times out of 10, and I'm making $28 million a year, right? Simple game, easy game. We have a much harder game. Anyway, the difference being the velocity of the ball contributes to velocity of exit, correct? Our ball's coming in 9, 11 miles an hour. We have to provide the power of softball, okay? We're not necessarily talking about home runs. We talked yesterday, we want to be able to hit the ball hard as consistently as possible, time and time again. Okay, Bob mentioned bat plane, and we know our bat plane, our most productive bat plane is that nice flat swing here, playing the ball. So we'll get into more specifically about bat plane. Let's talk about the impact zone. What I've done here is there's 3 balls here that are placed. Okay, and thanks, Bob. And if you notice, there's a line here, a line here, a line here, and a line here. What we're going to do is combine 2 different things that are critically important into one with this little session. Okay, so the impact zone is this. So imagine, by the way, these lines are going through the plate. Okay, so we've separated the plate into thirds, right? So this is 1/3, the middle 1/3, this is 1/3, right? We know now these balls represent strikes because you guys are all professional hitters and you learned what is the first rule of becoming a great hitter.
Only swing at strikes.
Very good. Okay, so this is signifying an inside pitch. Okay? This is our middle of plate USDA sirloin meatball. All right, it's going right in the middle of the plate, right? This is an outside strike. So each of these pitches in our minds we know are going to hit the plate because we don't even consider them if they're not going to hit the plate. In order to hit this pitch effectively, all right, remember we learned yesterday about some extension. Bob showed you with the launch angle and everything how we need to get our bat barrel in the right position at the right time, right? So let's get in the batter's box at our spot. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the barrel to that ball and see if my theory is correct. Okay, so that inside pitch is coming, and I'm going to take the barrel to the ball. Now, do I have that nice V that Bob talked about yesterday in my arms, right? Am I extended? Okay, look at my barrel angle. Where's that ball going? Somewhere over there, right? I'm pulling that ball. Okay, let's check the middle pitch. Where's that ball going?
Center to right center.
Am I extended?
Yes.
Am I at maximum? Is my belly button facing the pitcher? Have I rotated? Okay. Let's do the outside pitch. I hit it too hard, sorry about it. I'll take a little bit off. My bad. All right. Look at my barrel angle. Am I extended? Am I rotated? Okay. Have I executed properly? Okay. So there's a couple things. There's more than a couple. There's a lot to learn here. But let's break it down to a few things. Number 1, I like to say the inside pitch. Again, we're only talking strikes. We're not talking about here or anything else. We're only talking strikes. That inside pitch, the farther inside it is as a strike, the further out here I must impact it. Why? What if that pitch, I wait and try to impact it there? Look at my arm. Am I extended? Am I going to get any kind of power into the ball? Am I fully rotated? Do you see how timing can negatively affect technique really, really quickly? And not doing the right thing with a pitch can negatively affect technique. Remember, we want to be as close to perfect as possible, as much as possible, right? It's all about consistency.
Sometimes some of you guys that always say, I keep getting jammed, I keep getting jammed, I keep getting jammed, it may not be your swing at all, it's your timing. You're letting the ball get too deep. And if that inside pitch gets back here, there's almost no way that you can get your barrel to that ball. You're going to get it off the handle, okay?
that are on my field yesterday, how many guys, I tell you, I have a little saying, you try to hit it out of the catcher's mitt. I say that to a few people yesterday, right? Because we let the ball get too deep on us. And we do that a lot as players, okay? It's a timing issue, but let's take it one step further. Remember how I talked about yesterday? I like walking around, there's 4 fields going. I like to just listen to all the guys that think they know how to coach softball. They're yelling to get your elbow up or whatever. You know, I hear the 7th grade baseball coach is what most of them are talking about. How about hit it where it's pitched? You ever heard that one?
Yep.
What's that mean?
That's a good one.
What does that mean?
That means an outside pitch should go to right field to the right side of the infield anyways.
That is why I separated this plate into thirds. Let's make it real easy, okay? This is the inside third of the plate. It's an inside strike, right? 1/3 is 33 1/3%, right? This pitch, to be most effective, most consistently hit hard, needs to be hit on this third of the field. This is what hitting it where it's pitched means. This pitch needs to get hit on this third of the field. This pitch needs to get hit on this third of the field. Did I say this pitch has to get hit by the right field line? No. Does this pitch have to hit on the left field line? No. That works, but you don't have to be that precise. How many times has Bob yelled at me during a tournament going, Alan, I saw what you're doing. You're trying to be too precise. Like I picked out a plate of grass in right field and tried to hit it instead of hitting a hole. Okay? And I have an issue doing that sometimes, trying to be too precise. Okay, but we've got a third of the field to work with on each of these pitches. But do you see how the technique of timing, how timing, technique, and hitting it where it's pitched go together? This is critical information, guys. We all need to work on technique of our swing itself, but the next thing is this. Because if we don't do this, our swing that looks really good, but we're not grasping these concepts, we're again hampering our potential success as a hitter.
Quick
What keeps
question.
you from pulling that ball to left, the outside one? I see people swing at outside pitches and it still goes to left.
Well,
Let me show you.
Good,
Go ahead.
Good question. Okay, let me tell you this. Again, this is slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
You can get away with a lot in slow pitch softball. I can hit that pitch to left field.
Yeah.
I can hit this pitch to right field.
Yeah.
But can I do it? Remember I told you yesterday I can put a mathematical equation on anything? Okay? You're a 1,000 hitter before you step in the batter's box, right? For your first swing. Okay? If I follow these principles and I hit this ball there, this ball there, this ball there, I'm a 750, 850 hitter. When I start trying to hit this ball there, on that pitch, instead of being a 750, 800 hitter, I go to a 600, 650 hitter.
Yeah.
Now, is 600, is that successful in slow pitch softball? Not for me, it isn't. I don't agree with that number. For some of you, 600 might be successful, and that's okay. That's good. Okay, that's fine. But what I'm telling you is you'll never be as consistent hitting this pitch over there. More so, Bob's going to show us, if you try to hit this outside pitch over there about 7.5 or 8 times to 10, you're going to hit a ground ball to the shortstop.
Yeah.
Because why? You're literally swinging around the ball. You're hitting the ball on the way back this way. What happens to our wrist, Bob?
It rolls over.
Okay.
It rolls
So they're
over
hitting
at the
ball
wrong
too
time.
late, causing it to go that way.
Correct.
All right.
Now, I'm
There's a
not
lot of
saying,
guys,
look,
that's all they do is pull, pull, pull.
I have miscalculated and hit this pitch over the fence in left center field.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you could throw me that pitch 10 times and I tried to do that, I might hit 2 or 3 hits. Maybe I luck out and hit 1 home run. I'm batting 400 on that pitch. Unacceptable. Do you understand?
Yes.
I did not execute properly. Any of these pitches can be hit anywhere. It's slow pitch softball. It's underhand.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is this is the recipe for success. This is going to make you the most consistent hitter when you follow this. I'm going to give you one little get out of jail free pass. This middle of the plate pitch really can go about 40% of the field. You have a little bit more leeway there. It's right. That middle of the plate pitch, you have a little
Work
bit.
that pitch a little bit.
You can work that pitch a little bit more as you get more proficient at this. You have a little bit more leeway with that middle of the plate pitch, okay? And of course, you guys, the unfair guys, you know, these giants, you know, they really have a lot of unfair ability because of their height and their weight. You know, I always tell people about Bob, like Bob, God never made me his size. Why didn't God make me Bob's size? It wouldn't be fair for the rest of you guys. Come on, laugh. It's not that fun. Okay.
pitches, if you're hitting a 10-foot arc, I'm 5'6".
Great point. Go ahead.
He's going to be up here.
Great
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Great point. Okay. Remember what we talked about in the batter's box? How we can adjust. Now look, I wouldn't have you, generally speaking, remember we talked that we probably want to stay about, and we want to find our comfort zone in the batting box as a hitter. We probably stay in there about 80% of the time, 85% of the time, maybe in the same place. But there's times that we adjust according to pitching. Some of the shorter guys, it's more important for you to make adjustments than some of the taller guys. Because a guy with a little bit of arc and you're standing up here, it's going to create a big problem for you. A guy throwing flat and you're staying back here, it's a big problem for you. I can adjust that a little bit more. I mean, I'm 5'11". Of course, again, I'm not picking on the tall guys, but the taller guys can have more adjustment because of their height and their leverage with their longer arms, okay? It's not as critical for them, but for the smaller guys, it's very important about looking at the pitching and making an adjustment in the batter's box. So very, very good point. You might, if a guy's throwing that 10, 11-foot pitch and it's landing middle to back, you might have to get back here a little bit. But remember, usually in the batter's box, unless it's an extreme, it's maybe 3 or 4 inches this way, this way, this way, or this way. It's not, this is where I usually am, and I want to go to right field, so I'm going to do this. I call this telegraphing. I'm sending a telegraph to everybody. Hey, guy's going backside.
Yeah.
Okay? Bob, did you have something to say?
Oh, yeah, I want to show angle of contact. But
Okay.
talk about half a shoe again.
Okay. Yeah, remember what Bob talked about yesterday about half a shoe? And when we talk about half a shoe, I'm going to go a little bit more in detail.
Even moving in the box, we don't want to go a full foot. We want to
Right.
go half a foot or half a shoe.
Half a shoe. That's all we need to make the adjustment. Guy's throwing flatter. Okay, I'm moving up in the box a little bit. Guy's throwing deeper. This is my normal place. I'm going here. Now, I'm going to go to advanced hitting. I call it directional hitting. This gets into college. Okay? And then I'm going to let Bob do his thing. How can I change the dynamics of these lines on the plate?
Where you stand.
Where I stand. Cheater. You heard this before. Good. But applause for a guy that came to my instruction and actually listens. That guy is a sponge. That's why he's gotten so good in the last year. Not because of me, but because he listens and he goes out and he practices. If he was, how many swings you take this morning, Knucklehead?
About 40.
Only 40? Then you're listening. Usually I have him out, he'll be hitting 200 swings before we start the work. And I say, Harv, you're overdoing it. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember what Bob said yesterday when you were talking about directional hitting? This is why we hit with a purpose. And again, this is some upper level stuff, guys. This is what we call it advanced teach, okay? First of all, we want to make sure that all our fundamentals are correct. That's what we're here for mainly. But when we get to a spot or where we want to practice some with directional hitting, this is an advanced teach where Bob says, hey, listen, I'm looking, and remember how we talked about yesterday. I'm watching the pitcher first, see what kind of arc he's doing, in, out, up, down, okay? I got in my head an adjustment about where I want to be in the box. I'm also watching the defenses. What are they doing? Okay? Where's that second baseman playing? Where Bob and I play a lot, it's 5-man infields, 3-man outfields. Because a ground ball at the major plus level, if it's fielded, it's critical to get an out. If you don't get that out, it might cost you 4 or 5 runs, okay? So that's typically a lot of the defenses we play. So a lot of times we have gaps in outfields, okay, that we can pick. Every once in a while we'll play 4 infield, 4 outfield, and then that changes our potential of what we want to try to do or what we're looking at, okay? It changes the spots we're picking. So let's just say, okay, I've surveyed the defense, and then of course where we play, there's only a few teams. Most players are known what their strengths and weaknesses are, and defenses, when Bob gets up, will adjust to him, they'll adjust to me, okay, a little bit. But let's just say I'm watching and it's a 5-man infield. The 5th infielder is 3 or 4 feet to the left of second base, which is typical, playing on a right-handed hitter. Second baseman has moved over, so that palm tree right there, he's a little bit to the left of that palm tree. And we got the pitcher's on this side of the rubber. So what I've seen is I've got a hole here in the infield, and I've got a gap there in the outfield. Okay, so you guys have learned now. So I've got a, if I'm going to follow my own rules here, I need either this pitch or this pitch, right? This pitch, if I try to hit it there, I'm forcing the pitch. Can I hit it there? Yeah. Can I hit it there as many times successfully as those other two? No. Even at our level, we can't. We can't cheat it either. No better than you can. So, what can I do in execution in the box? Here's my normal place in the batter's box. Something about here, okay? What about if I do this? Did I tell anybody what I'm doing?
If you did it just like that, you
Well, no, I won't do that. Yes, you're right. But see, if I come to the plate
yeah.
and I do this,
No.
as compared to where I usually stand this,
No.
is anybody really going to notice?
Nope.
No, I'm not telegraphing anything. Yes, Rico?
I catch a lot, and I watch the feet.
Well, you're a smart man.
And then I set up, I don't,
Do you set your defense based on that?
yes.
Then you know what I'm going to do? As soon as I hear you say that,
He's
I'm
going
going
to
to
creep
do
a
something.
little bit closer and go
Oh,
back
I
to
know,
the
I'm
other.
gonna do something
I
different.
wait.
Hey,
And you know
there's
what?
not a damn thing we can do.
No.
All right, if a good hitter wants to go to right field, there ain't a damn thing as a pitcher that I can do, or as a defense. Now you can, we'll do the same thing. You know, your catchers are doing hand signals back here. I don't see it when I'm hitting, but I usually do Facebook Live.
Yep.
So when I go back later, I can see, you know, Johnny Bailey's over there doing this, trying to move a fielder. It doesn't matter because we can creep around here. We can change. If you guys, if you're doing that and they all start shifting over there, all he's
I
going
can
to
make
do
an
is
adjustment.
he's gonna get back there another half step closer. Now he just changed his field.
I gotta learn my team.
So as a hitter, you can get the pitch you want.
Yes.
Don't worry about if anybody notices you
What
or
did Bob
sees
just
you.
say? What'd you say, Bob? Say it again.
As a hitter, you can get the pitch that you want.
That's what I'm about to do here. That's what I'm about to do here. I can, now, if I'm in this position, there is almost even an inside pitch. I can still hit that hole. I don't want to try to hit that hole. That's too much of cheating. But I can even take that inside pitch when I'm this far off the plate and hit that gap right there. And anything else on this plate, I can, that pitch I can hit there. This pitch I can hit there, okay? I've changed the whole dynamics of what I want to do at the plate by adjusting here as compared to the rules that we have here. Does everybody understand that? Okay, now, like Bob said, look, I've worked for the last 3 years on this little thing we call the pooch, and it infuriates people. I love it. It's where I'll get in the box, and you know, you can't cheat people like Bob and I with, as far as power goes. Most of the time, they're going to be at 285 to 290 at the fence, okay? And if they come in at any time, you know, we can hit it over their head, right? Pretty much anytime we want. Now, sometimes you'll see when there's no home runs left, okay? The outfielders will tend to cheat because they know we're trying to keep the ball in the park. But I can literally be here, and I don't care what pitch you throw me. I can hit about a 110-foot fly ball down there that no one has a chance of catching.
He's going to show us here.
And I'll show you how to do it in a minute, but it infuriates people because
That's the
I
pooch.
laugh as I'm running down the first, and there's nothing that well, I don't know, my Achilles is doing a little rough. But anyway, so that's a super advanced thing, but I've literally worked for the last 3 years on developing that, and I'm pretty good at it. I can pretty much do it when I want to. The bad thing when you try to do that and you mess up, it's really ugly. It is a very weak ground ball right at somebody or a little pop-up that's awful. So it's anyway.
Here, let me
Go ahead.
make a point about timing. What's timing mean? We talk about our timing. We got to get our timing down. We got to get our timing down. What does that mean?
Synchronized.
Right. We want to hit the ball in the right spot at the right time. I'm going to stand right where Alan talked about in that nice neutral position. Guys, I can hit all three of these where they need to go with the same swing. I don't have to change my swing at all. Let me show you that, ready? I'm gonna go slow motion. Here it comes. Step away from the hands, I start to go. Watch this, I'm gonna rotate, there goes my hips, my hands are starting, all right? Here's the same swing, ready? Boom, am I over that ball right now?
Yes, sir.
That ball's gonna go to right field, all right? Same swing, I'm gonna keep going. That ball's going to right field, that ball's going to center field, and that ball's going where? To left field. Same exact swing, all right? I hit, with the same swing, I hit a ball to right, I hit a ball to left, and I hit a ball to center. I didn't have to change a darn thing, did I? I just had to time it right. This ball I let get deeper. I hit it while it was back here. This ball I hit right out in front, and then this ball I hit a little sooner. So that's what timing means, all right? Same bet swing, all right? Different pitches, and I hit it to 3 different fields. So you don't have to hit it to right field, all right? You don't have to get up here and, you know, fly open to hit it to left field. That's not what it's all about. It's all about letting the ball get into the compact zone or contact zone. So you guys that I keep telling you, got to let it travel, let it travel. You're trying to hit everything way out here. And if you try to hit this pitch while it's out there from the same spot I was, watch. Here's that same swing. I'm going to hit it off the end of the bat, aren't I? So that pitch, it's all about timing. You got to let it get deep, all right? And he showed you if you try to hit this pitch, once it's way back here, all right, you're going to get jammed. You understand that? So that's what timing is. And then what happens if we tell you, yeah, you swung early? Swung early.
Foul ball.
What was early?
Hold release.
What was early?
Hips.
Usually the rotation was early. You spun too soon. Your timing was off, and you spun too soon. And when you do that, again, you can't hit that pitch because you swung too soon. All right, the only one you're going to be able to hit is this one. All right, now let's talk about that bat angle. When I hit that ball right there, my hands are ahead of my barrel, right? My barrel's coming through just like this. It's coming through. But at that contact point, my hands are a little bit ahead of my barrel. What kind of spin is that ball going to have?
To the side, right?
It's coming this way. It's going to hit that bat, and it's going to spin left to right. Those balls you hit to right field, what do?
Slice.
Go to the corner.
All right, golfers, it's a slice spin. It's a slice spin. That's okay. That means you hit it right. All right? This ball, let's hit this one. When I hit that one, you're going to see that my barrel gets to the ball before my hands. All right? It's going to be at this angle. So this ball's going to hit here. It's going to come off with a hook spin. All right? Or a right to left spin. Sometimes you do it too much and it hooks foul, doesn't it? All right? What's this one going to have?
Straight back.
Yeah, look what happens when I hit that one right there. The barrel and the hands get to the ball at the same time. That's called squaring it up. You've heard that expression, square it up? All right? That's called squaring it up. And what happens here is that pitch is coming straight in and it's going straight out. The only spin that should have on it is either what? Top spin, back spin, or knuckle. All right? Is it possible for us to put spin on the ball as a hitter? Yes. All right, you can. How do you put backspin on the ball? You hit it slightly below center. You got a round object. You're hitting a round object with a round object. All right, that contact area is smaller than a dime. All right, now it will compress and maybe move to a quarter because the ball gives a little bit and the bat gives a little bit. There were some great pictures on Facebook last night of some photographer that had some pictures right at Compact. And it was cool. You could see the ball smushing a little bit and the bat smushing a little bit. All right, and that's us applying force to the ball. But anyway, so if we want to get it in the air, we have to make contact with it slightly below center. What happens if we make contact slightly above center? Where's that ball going to go? Down. All right, what happens if we hit it right in the middle? It's going to come out with no spin at all. So ideally, gang, we want to get it slightly below the center. Slightly below the center. We want to get it in the air. All right? Which one's going to go farther? That one, or that one? Straight away center field. People don't realize that. You watch a home run derby, where do most of the guys hit it? In the home run derbies, where are they hitting the ball?
Left center.
They're pulling it, aren't they? All right? If we did a home run derby on this field, knowing what you know now, where should you try to hit it?
Left center.
Center.
Center field. The ball travels farther to center field because it's called the laws of rebound. Because I'm squaring it up. All right? It's coming in, perpendicular, going back. The only spin it should have on it is back spin or top spin. It shouldn't have hook spin or slice spin. All right? So the ball, believe it or not, actually travels farther to center field.
Bob, how about the wind factor?
Well, of course, that has a big thing to do with it. You've got to know what the wind is doing. But let me give you an analogy. Think of Yankee Stadium, left field line. Rough estimate. 325, 315, 330. Most major league fields, right field line.
314.
Yeah, sometimes even shorter. Pesky pole, really short.
World's made for left-handed hitters.
315, 320 down the lines. All right. What are the alleys? 375, 385. What's center field?
400.
405, 410. Why? Why do they make Major League Baseball parks 405 feet in center field? Because the ball travels farther there.
They know that.
Right?
Every major league field has its own characteristics, but that's the one same thing of every major league field is center field is always longer.
Where I'm going with this, how many of you play against four-man infield? All the four-man mostly. Pitcher and four infielders. Raise your hand, right? How many of you are old enough to play against a five-man infield? Good, proud of. Oh, you do both? So let me get both. When you face a four-man infield, where's the biggest hole in the field? Middle. Middle of the infield. Where's the biggest hole, or where's one of the holes in the outfield with a four-man outfield? Middle. So when I get up against a four-man infield, all right, I'll say a prayer for the pitcher, all right, and then I'm going right through the middle. I've got a hole in the infield if I hit it on the ground. I've got a hole in the outfield if I hit a line drive, and I know that the laws of rebound tell me that that's the farthest and the hardest I can hit a ball. Is that
Nobody on the other side of the fence.
okay?
Right, Bobby?
So when you want to go hard, I'm telling you right now, you'll add 150 points to your batting average if you learn to hit middle. Okay? This day and age with the screen, is it okay to hit middle?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. All right? Is it okay to hit middle when there's no screen?
Yeah.
Sure it is. I have to protect myself as a pitcher. Part of the game. All right? I pitch and I've hit other pitchers. I've broken a foot here or there. It ain't no fun. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm trying to get on base. All right? I get paid the big bucks to get on base.
Bob, are you only hitting the middle ball up the middle?
No.
Any one of those
This
balls?
is going to be the easiest one to
okay,
hit, right?
But you're going to hit all of them.
I can work, well, not all of them. I can work this and this. I can work those three up the middle. But if I try to go middle here or I try to go middle here, my average drops to about 500.
What if you get that on the first pitch? You take that?
You take it.
You take it?
Yep. If I'm just thinking middle. But I'm a smart guy, so if I'm going to do that, instead of my regular stance, I'm going to back up half of a shoe.
Just like we talked about,
Now,
right?
all of these pitches are middle for me.
Okay.
This is the inside pitch. I'm going to take it. That's the outside pitch. I'm really going to take that. So I'm going to get off the plate a little bit, and now that middle has opened up for me.
Exactly what we talked about before. And he's probably the best guy in the country at hitting there in that right center field gap.
There's only one guy I'm trying to miss, and that's the poor pitcher. And he's only 60 feet away from me. He ain't got a chance, does he? Unless I hit it right at him. Now, let's do some math here. You guys don't know, Google Earth is pretty cool. Let's say you're facing even the 4-man infield with a pitcher. You guys, give me a guess. How far do you think it is from that cutout to this cutout where the grass starts?
175.
Yeah, it's 150 to 175. All right, now let's go, and that's 5 people protecting 175 feet of real estate, right? First, second, pitcher, short, third. Now we got 5 people protecting 175. Let's go foul pole to foul pole. What do you think?
About 360.
About 350. About 350 from foul pole to foul pole. And there's 4 60-year-old men out there trying to protect 350. Do I want to hit ground balls or do I want to hit line drives? I want to get the ball in the air. I want to get it over the infielder's head. All right? So in order to do that, what part of the ball do I need to hit? Bottom of the half. And how do I do that? With timing. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to show you guys, we're going to call our shots. All right? We're going to set up in a certain part of the box. We're going to tell you the area that we're going to try to hit it. We're even going to tell you if we're hitting it in the air or on the ground. All right? And we're going to show you a little bit of back control. And this is what you're going to be able to do once you get yourself in the right position, you get your grips right, you get your timing right, you're going to be able to move the ball around a little bit. All right? And that's the reason why we play at the level we play at. And we can hit 750, 800. All right? Alan was 19 for 22 the last tournament in the Villages. All right? He led everybody in hitting. Okay? So we're going to show you right now. Watch it happen. I want you to watch his feet, watch his hands. The big thing about Alan Tanner is his head. He really keeps his head on the ball really, really well. And you can actually see it. All right? And if you've got a body part that you're not good at, your hands are bad, your stride is bad, pick that out right now and watch. All right? And then just kind of enjoy a little bit. But he's going to talk a little bit as he goes. We're going to have a little fun here.
So what I'm going to do first, it's a little disclaimer. I don't get loose really until I take 20 or 25 swings. Most of the time I've got some issues with back and net. But what I found out for my own self when I'm doing stuff like this, I'm just gonna hit a few balls up the middle first because it just helps me kind of get my timing. Just take some easy swings, 60, 70% swings, and then we'll go to moving the ball around. So what I'm gonna do is, it's just like we talked about yesterday. Any good golf teacher will tell you when you go to the driving range that, remember we told you the head on the ball, same thing here. A good golf instructor, when he tells you to go to the driving range, every ball you hit has purpose. You aim at something on purpose at the driving range, right? You don't just hit balls and try to hit them straight. You should be aiming at a target. So we're gonna target the middle of the field first, just like that. So we're gonna hit with purpose. All right. I'm gonna take a few easy swings. Now, like Bob said, if there's something that you've struggled with individually with your footwork or your hands or whatever, watch the feet a little bit. My leg kick is a little different than most. You'll see some subtle differences in our strides and things, but overall, the basic fundamental things that we've talked about with rotation, keeping head on ball, and things like that, and extension, both of us do the same thing at the same time. So.
If you can slide around behind him, you'll appreciate it a little bit more. You can see the in and the out. All right, we're just getting loose.
Yep. I just forced an inside pitch up the middle. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Same thing, little deep. So I'm going to back up a tiny bit. Those all hits?
Yes, sir.
Remember what Bob said? Nobody there, right? No one there.
Not for a line drive, yeah.
All right. Now.
But your stride foot's slipping pretty good.
Yeah, this is all right. Okay. So now let's go from side to side of the field. All right. I've identified a couple holes we talked about. A lot of times for us right-handers, that hole right there is open quite a bit. Whether it's a hard ground ball, line drive, or whatever, that hole's there. And generally, again, if I can get any kind of very hard line drive, ground ball, even a fly ball that's not too high, anything kind of directed around that light pole out there, that's going to be a gap, right? No matter if it's a 4-man or a 3-man. So we're going to see if we can play around with that a little bit.
All right, so I'm observing as a pitcher. I know he's backed off the plate a little bit. Is there anything I can do about it?
No. Jam him.
I got to hit the board, right?
Throw strike.
You can try to
Play
throw
the
me
board, he
balls
gets a
in
free
here,
trip.
but what's our first rule?
Don't hit it. Don't swing at a bad pitch.
Got a hit?
I need to duck.
It wasn't a good pitch.
Oh!
Do that.
Flat pitch. That didn't get over my head. I got you.
Bob's famous thing.
I wouldn't argue that.
Bob's really, he's a great pitcher because he moves balls up, down, flat, in, out. But the famous thing that everybody around the country always mimics Bob, he'll throw a marginal 6-footer, and it'll hit, and the guy will call it flat, and Bob goes, so let that go off the screen, Blue! That's his big.
I'm 6'3".
I'm
Just
6'3",
gotta touch
that's
the
his
top
next
of my
line.
head.
I'm 6'3".
Get high.
Not my pitch, right?
Right. Not for right field.
All right, now I got a strike on me. I got to keep it fair.
Yes, sir.
Can't hit that.
Don't
right?
hit the net.
I think I burned somebody.
That's a double.
Oh, I missed that one. That's an out.
Yeah.
That's an out.
2-step back. Oh.
It could drop, but I'm not happy with that. I got my body in front of the ball a little bit. My hands were a little too late. That's good. No one's catching it.
I got you. Not that one.
Now, how is he sending it over there? Anybody notice?
He's waiting on the pitch.
He's actually doing a little work with his hands.
Inside
He's
out.
keeping his hands inside the ball. And he's got a little inside out swing. He's putting spin on that ball.
You notice how the ball's curving?
Yeah.
He's doing that on purpose. He's found a hole over there. That pitch may not have been ideal to go that way. He may have had to work one of these over there, but he's doing that by getting his hands inside the ball just a little bit. So when you want to go that way, you just work a little inside out. If you're going to pull it, that's when you're going to work on getting outside in, all right? So you can shape a pitch a little bit. You can move the ball around. I know you guys are just trying to get barrel on it and hit it hard.
This is advanced, advanced hitting. You always got to do the fundamentals first, and then. But this is what you're working towards. Okay. All right. Now let's change it up a little bit. Let's say I got this hole here now and the 5-6 hole. Okay. So we're going to change it up a little bit.
Notice he moved closer and he opened his stance a little bit. Remember, the stance doesn't matter. Watch where he is when that foot hits the ground, you guys. Ball.
No one's home, right?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is he swinging?
75.
75, 80, yeah.
50%.
Not even that, are you? About 60?
About 60.
You don't have to swing as hard as you can every time, gentlemen. Ball. Anybody gonna catch that?
7-foot pitcher.
Where was that pitch?
Out front.
Short.
Short
So
out
did you
front.
see him adjust?
Let's stride longer and
I like
into
that pitch when I want to keep the ball in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll yell that was short, but I'm pretty good at going down. You notice how I took my body down towards the ball a little bit? I can keep that ball in the park with a 60% swing line drive, and I can probably do that 7.5 times, 8 times out of 10. That's a good percentage, right? That's 750 or 800. I call it the intoxication pitch. You can get intoxicated because if you try to hit that ball hard in a gap or try to hit a home run with it, the problem is you'll hit one of the farthest balls of your life. The other problem is you can only do it about 3 out of 10 times. The law of average is not good there because you're changing your back plane. When I go down like this, I can still get level, okay, get that shorter pitch, right? But when I stand this and do this, look at my back plane. That ball's going in the air, and when it's a little bit short like that, a lot of times you miss the underside of that ball, and it's a lazy fly ball. The problem is when you go get it and you're fully extended, you'll hit it a long way. But that's why I call it the intoxication pitch. Don't get drunk and think you can do that over and over again.
The biggest key there is some of you guys, he went down with his legs and got it. You guys want to go down and bend over and get it. Once you change your posture, you've changed your swing plane, you've changed the data that your brain took in, all right, and it's just pot luck from there. So if you're going to swing at one of them short pitches, all right, you go down with the legs, go down with the knees a little bit and get it. Don't bend at the back to go down and get that one. All right, where are we going now, big boy?
All right, so now what we've got is a situation where we don't necessarily want a home run, but a home run won't hurt us. Okay, this is when Bob and I will tell each other, Bob, gap or go, gap or go. Because we've probably got 2 guys on base, and it's a situation where we can afford to use a home run. But if I don't hit a home run, but I hit a gap, it's even that much better because the guy behind me now, even if I hit a gap, those 2 runs are probably going to score. The guy behind me can free swing. Okay? So what we're doing now is usually, again, even 4-man or 3-man outfield with a right-handed hitter, I've got that gap there, and I usually have that gap right where that pole is there. So anywhere 10 or 15 feet on either side of those poles is good, right? Don't try to hit the blade of grass like I do sometimes.
All right, so now he's going gap to gap, gap to gap. If it's on the inner half of the board, he's going to hit it near that light pole, just to the right of that light pole. If it's on the outer part of the board, he's going to hit it just inside of that light pole.
Now what did Bob just say? I've now separated the plate only into 1/2 because of where I'm going to stand and what I'm going to try to achieve. Okay? You guys get that?
You think he's trying to hit top spin here, back spin here, or knuckleballs? Back spin. He's trying to create backspin. Watch the spin of the ball coming off of his bat.
Oh, right at the shortstop. That was not a strike. You see that? Was that a strike? Inside, right?
One for the pitcher.
Come on, man. He sucked you in.
I thought it was a strike. That in the gap?
Perfect, right?
Yes, sir.
30%.
Knuckleball.
Knuckle. Square.
That's a hit.
Yeah, it is. Do I mind if I'm shooting for a gap, but oh shoot, I got a base hit?
No.
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 No. Now it's probably going to be 1st and 3rd.
Yeah.
The next guy can free swing and get another 3-run homer, right?
Yeah.
Does that work? Yeah.
Good. Directional hitting. He's getting it in the air. Keeping it in the park. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, hit that
I
one.
suck at pitch. Oh, that's in the hole, but that's not up in the air. That'll work. That hole there is almost always there for a right-handed hitter.
Yeah.
That was pulled.
Woo.
Took a strike. Good pitch.
Now he's got 2 on him.
Knuckle.
Tried to lure him in.
Oh, darn, another hit. All right. Now we're going to have a little fun. We're still in gap or go situation, but I have more of an opportunity based on the situation of the game to free swing a little bit more here, okay? Maybe if later in the game, got some home runs left, a couple guys on. Still, we say gap or go because does a gap hurt you? Does a line drive base hit hurt you? No, but I can be a little bit more aggressive with my swing. And if I hit a home run, it's 3 runs. Otherwise, I still get a hit or a gapper, right?
Has to run back.
There's two kids out there, so aim for one.
Which one you gonna hit?
Big crapper.
Come on, there's your blade of grass.
Moving target, bro. Let them.
They're in my zone.
Go to it again. Give me
It
one
wasn't
out
right
right
shot
shot
first.
What about a right
So
side?
you have the white too. You want that run and they
Nah, I
hurt.
can hit it. That's Bob what I did.
That was a middle pitch. And you worked it out that way.
Well, I did, but remember, I was also
Yeah.
a little, I stood off the plate a little bit because I didn't want to hit it. Bob said hit one because there was no gap, so I did.
Yeah. No, I
Anybody notice what the pitch did? The pitch moved in on him because of the wind.
The wind, it's another good thing of observation. When we get to the outfielders, we're going to talk about wind and elements. But as a hitter, we also need to be cognizant of the wind. What's the wind doing to a pitch? Look, if I'm a semi-power hitter, but I've got wind blowing in, am I going to get up there and try to rip home runs all day long? No. I want to flatten that swing out, hit the hard line drives all day long, right? Now, if I've got some decent power or whatever, and I got wind blowing out, okay, and the time's right, I can be a little bit more aggressive with my swing because I know I can do that. Or if I'm not a home hitter at all, and we got severe wind blowing in, it's pick your holes in the infield and drive those hard line drives and ground balls to the infield, right? You want to, if a guy that's not necessarily a power hitter doesn't want to be trying to shoot gaps with the wind blowing in, right? If you happen to hit one good and it goes in the gap, fine. But your law of averages, remember, is better off hard line drives, hard ground balls and holes if you're not a power hitter when you've got wind blowing in your face. Okay?
All right, here we go. Free swinging?
Oop, there's a top spin. That's a hit. Still a hit. Strike. Woo! Came back. Oh, I missed it. That's awful.
Now, Alan, were you behind that?
Yes. Okay. Way behind that. Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm
When
seeing
you say
what you're
behind that, what do you mean?
I stepped a little too soon, and my bat head was back here when it should have been here. That was all
Isn't it
fine.
great to know that even the professionals hit the ball once in a while?
seeing. They were all human.
Huh?
Oh.
Ah, palm tree. That didn't even have backspin, he hit it out. Look out, look at that thing turn. What kind of spin was that? Backspin.
Woo! Into the bat.
Oh, you missed
Too
that.
quick.
Oh.
Reach for that one.
That was a good pitch. I reached for it and got the end of the bat on it.
Maybe a little early.
Oh, yeah.
Tell Alan keep his head down.
Gotta be the back.
Narrow.
Oh, yeah.
Flatter pitch.
That's my pitch right there.
Come back. Not bad for a little guy. Look at that.
All right, a couple more, Bobby.
So like a knuckleball. Let's see how he handles this. You guys ready? Ah, no problem.
Don, I've seen that one before.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's how the handle a little bit.
Are you trying to swing up a little bit?
Last
when
one.
you're
Yes.
throwing?
Yes, I am.
Just the hair.
I have changed my bat plane slightly. Am I swinging like this?
No.
Am I swinging like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was I doing before?
Level.
I have slightly changed my bat plane. I'm trying to hit the ball out of the park or hit a gapper on purpose. So I'm hitting the back of the ball, slightly changing my bat plane.
You ever swing down, like cutting the ball?
Yes, I do cut swings once in a while. I'll tell you who's working on a cut swing that's really good. Where's Larry? Larry.
Oh yeah.
Watch
When he
his
first
swing
hit
today.
out
He's
here, he-
doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm doing something a little different.
But that's to put the backspin.
Where's the winning run at?
Doesn't matter.
Second base.
At the plate.
Ball game.
Yep.
Watch out, kid.
Oh my gosh. I think I hit that one too far.
That little.
By the way, this is a brand new bat that's got 25 swings.
Not
on it.
even
It's
that, you
not
took
broken
your
in.
wrapper out.
It was him.
I'll give you 150
Golf
for it.
clap, Alan Tanner, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,